Did you see Adam Schefter's tweet earlier today that Mika Igbukka is going to be playing?
No, that kind of. I mean, not that my just the tips is worth a damn this week, but that would lower the odds of Cade Otton having a good game.
It would lower the odds. He's playing. He's. I'm watching the warm ups right now. He went through the full warm up. He's going to play.
Well, that's
Uh,
good for Baker. I feel happy for Baker.
they got Mike Evans back too, which we knew beginning of the week like that was going to be the case. But to have a Mika Igbigbu as Rob Gronkowski calls
What?
him. You didn't hear that clip? It was probably after game four, I think, and they were talking about the Bucks on one of the Fox post games, and Gronk called him Amika Igbigbu.
Big Boo? Disrespectful. Gronk's an idiot.
Disrespectful. Well, he did say that he was half on on that Barstool show with Presley, Caleb Presley.
He's also admitted that he really doesn't know like as much about football as he should. Like he was like, I'm just gonna go out there and play hard. He's he's mentioned that on multiple times. It's like I
I
don't really know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm gonna I'm gonna do it hard.
Hey, I think Travis falls into that too. I think people give Travis way too
No
much
way.
credit.
No way.
I think Travis.
Being a former quarterback, I feel like there's like you understand the game on a certain level. Like Gronk never looked like he knew where the soft spot in the coverage was going to be. Travis knows where that is every time. Like Travis is not necessarily running like the specified like if he knows he's up against zone coverage, like he knows where the soft spot's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, yes, he
And
does. I think he's
that
seen it
skill got a
enough,
lot better when joined by Patrick Mahomes because he's
but I
smarter than
don't.
Travis.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, I feel like Travis's knowledge of the route tree and just identifying coverages, I like for sure puts him in like a mental game like above Gronk.
I would hope so. I would like to think that. I just don't know how true that is.
You think I'm giving him too much credit?
I think we're all giving Travis too much credit. I think brother just goes out there, he like half-ass runs a route, and then he's like, "Oh, this is open. Let me go to this spot." And he just
So
goes.
like when he goes and sits down in a soft spot in a zone coverage and there's nobody around him for a couple yards, you think that's just luck?
I think he identifies it mid route. And that's why they're like, "Oh, he just like Travis does whatever he wants because he just runs and I think he
But I mean,
processes the game
so
very
much of that is being
quickly."
on the same page as his quarterback. They're
That,
both recognizing it, and like Travis knows I can go sit down right over here, and Pat's gonna hit me right as I turn around.
I think less of that has to do with pre-play than it does just during the play. I think he reads the game as it's happening very well. I think Gronk did a lot of the same things. Just read the game as it happened more so than was able to
Well, I
identify it
mean,
pre-play.
I've this
I think that's a lot of
I don't know
players.
if I could find the specific video that I'm talking about, but Gronk is
I,
like they're two. Travis Kelsey cannot do exactly what Gronk does, and Gronk could not do what Travis Kelsey does because he
Agreed.
has like six, seven, eight, nine moves at the top of his route. And Gronk was like, I'm just running straight or I'm running a slant. Like
Yes.
I'm not gonna hit you with a bunch of different moves at the top of my route.
Yeah. No, I agree. There's a lot of things that Gronk couldn't do in the pass game as far as like route running. But I
I'm
think
tired of the narrative that Travis Kelsey can't block. Like he is like for the purpose of what we do in our offense, like he is a larger wide receiver, but the man can block. We
oh,
have
he can
seen
block
him
very well.
block
Yeah. But I
successfully.
think I think there's a lot of to go back to your point of like Gronk couldn't read the game or didn't want to read, didn't put the time. I think there's a lot of players like that. Even looking at the quarterback position, you got Kyler
Gronk didn't
Murray.
want to watch film, bro.
There's a lot of people that didn't. And a lot of people that still don't. You got Kyler Murray, doesn't want to watch film, isn't prepared for the games. Trevor Lawrence isn't prepared for the games. Heck, he has like the most. It's between him and Justin Herbert for like most delay of game penalties since they've been in the league. Although most of it's probably not Justin Herbert's fault. It seems like a lot of it's his offensive line issues or receiver issues, but it doesn't seem like they're prepared. I think there's a lot of receivers and running backs in the game that don't know how to read pre-snap. Heck, Tua is one of those guys.
That's why I say quarterback play is getting worse, mainly
It's getting
because of
really
Tua.
bad.
It's all
And
Tua.
that sad part is it's going to get his coach fired before he does, which I'm very surprised that we haven't heard about a Mike McDaniel firing as of yet today, being Monday. I would be very surprised if it happens on Tuesday, even though Tuesday is the league day
So,
off.
like we said earlier in the season that we're pretty sure that Mike McDaniel has lost a locker room, and that was, with Tyreek Hill still active. But I don't I don't necessarily think he's a bad coach.
Oh,
Because he
absolutely
had he
not.
had the locker room at one point. Like he had a group of players that were playing hard for him. But and I like there's examples of it this season specifically. Like we keep pointing out the Bills game where like McDaniel's called a good game, it just wasn't executed very well. Like they were only within 10 points of beating the Bills.
Yes, absolutely. And I,
So I think he's
I
a
think
I
it,
think he's a good coach.
I can't wait for the end of the season when Nagy gets a head coaching job and we bring in Mike McDaniel as
Oh
our
God,
offensive coordinator. It's going to be a beautiful thing.
you think that's gonna happen?
I think there is a possibility, and that puts it at like in my mind more than like a 50% chance of happening.
But so that's somebody that doesn't come from Andy Reid's coaching tree or the coaching tree that Andy Reid came from.
A
Like
lot of the guys, yeah, I
this is the Shanahan McVay coaching tree.
sure. I also think
And I
that
but that
Andy
that that
Reid's
makes me
coaching tree is
question
running
like
out.
how willing Andy Reid would be to like Andy Reid is he's about his guys. Like there's the whole reason why we have Nagy again.
Yeah, yeah. I think there was also a lack, right? So I think we're getting to the point now with Andy Reid's coaching tree that there's a lack, and that means that either guys are out or they're elsewhere already cemented in jobs, right? Like Kafka is out. I think he might be in at the college game. We know Bieniemy is out somewhere. I'd be very surprised if Bieniemy comes back. Kafka would be a guy that comes back, but only had a short stint as an OC under Dabble in New York. So I'd be surprised if he comes back. Like there's just becoming a lack of guys who have availability to come back into the chief system under Andy Reid. It's probably a little bit of time that he branches out, especially if they're going to be looking for a successor anytime soon.
Ew, I don't want Mike McDaniel coaching the Chiefs.
I don't know if he becomes a head coach. I mean,
I
who
don't want
who
him coaching
knows?
the Chiefs, bro.
I wouldn't want it now. I wouldn't want it right now, but three years down the road, spends 3 years under Andy. Hey,
Ugh.
I don't
Ugh.
know. Hey, I don't
Mm-mm.
give me those.
He
Give me
doesn't. He
those.
wouldn't look. He wouldn't look right, man. He
He
wouldn't
doesn't
look
look right
right.
now. He doesn't look right now. What are we talking about? Head coaching Caprice?
I'm not about it.
I'm very
Give me,
surprised he hasn't
give
been
me
fired
Andy till he's decrepit.
yet. I I don't know how much longer he's got. I'm surprised the word hasn't come down. I feel like it's only a formality. Maybe he sticks around for a couple more weeks. I think it'd be the wrong move, but you've got Tua to a long term deal, and you clearly cannot move off of him unless somebody else is willing to go out there and give you something for him, or you're willing to move off of him for absolutely nothing. Um, because you definitely don't have a backup option. And you talk about a guy who's a brand new head coach over at the Jets, Aaron Glenn. They're already talking about firing him 7 weeks into his new job. You've got Justin Fields,
I
who
think you at least got to give him the chance to go 0 and 17, get that first overall pick, and then see what he does with that team. Because
I'm
that's unfair. You can't you can't put him into the position you put him in and expect him to like win games immediately.
yes, I agree with you 100%. I don't like
But we
you've got to
also
give
understand that
your
the Jets organization is run like poo poo.
yeah, I mean, like their front office and their ownership group is horrid. Has been, probably always will be until it's either sold or ownership dies, right? It's just not run well. It never has been.
I don't know
But
about never has been, but
I mean,
the
for what, like
21st
2 years?
century, absolutely not. Yeah.
I mean, what are we talking about? Like a two year, maybe 3 year scope with the Sanchez at the helm. Like even then, his
No, no, no,
career.
no, 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 no. I'm talking about Namath.
I mean,
It's not
they've
never been run bad, or it's not never been run
they've
well,
had fair. They've had short stints. They've had incredibly
in the
short stints. They've
60s,
had they've had like
before the merger, like
right, yeah, yeah. Like,
bro.
like we're talking post merger, brother. Like we're not. They've had couple year stints here and there. It's not really ever been run well under this ownership group, and well, I guess it's not even a group. It's their single ownership. It's just not good. I feel bad for Aaron Glenn. I thought he could be that guy. The Jets clearly thought he could be, but he's not an offensive minded guy. They had already tried the defensive thing with Rob Saleh. That clearly didn't work. They don't really have any talent outside of Garrett Wilson and Brees Hall. They've had guys get on the injury reserve
and they
early.
utilize those two so much that both of them now have injury problems. Like I don't think Brees is hurt right now, but he's had his injury history with the Jets, and Garrett Wilson is dealing with a nagging injury right now. So
Exactly. Justin Fields, you keep putting that guy in situations for him to just not be successful in. And I'm not just talking about the Jets. Like he played pretty good with the Steelers. And maybe he's not good. I'm not off the train that he's like really bad. I think he's just been put in impossible situations that there's not a
so
quarterback in this
you think
league that will be successful in.
the Broncos game where he had like -10 yards, wasn't that a
You,
thing? You
Yes,
know,
he had -10 yards. Name me a quarterback in that situation, in the Jet situation. Name me a quarterback that would be successful. Not even Patrick Mahomes would be successful. Josh Allen, absolutely not. Lamar Jackson, nobody would be successful with the Jets right now. Their offensive line is horrible. They've got a running back, but
what
like,
you remember Dan Orlovsky before the season saying that about the Patriots?
yeah,
No quarterback can be successful in New England right now.
yeah,
Well,
Dan rarely ever knows what he's talking about. Clear, it's shown multiple times as he still says the Chiefs are bad.
he doesn't clearly didn't know where the end line of the end zone was when he was playing. But yeah, I mean, just Justin Fields just kind of seems like he's been he's been discarded from situations that you're right probably aren't his fault. There are some bad tendencies though. Like
Oh, absolutely.
there are some bad tendencies. It does. I don't think Justin Field because of the two specific organizations he's been with. I don't think he gets uh, like a late career resurgence unless he fills in for someone that gets hurt. Like I feel like his next step is going to be like backup, and
It
he's really
absolutely
not.
should be. It
He's not
absolutely
gonna
should
get
be.
an opportunity unless his starting quarterback goes down.
Listen, I think there's some fantastic. Look at what happened to Sam Darnold. Go to Minnesota and be a backup there. Go to San Francisco and be a backup there. You're going to get to play in
Find
those two organizations.
find your way to one of those organizations that like develops quarterbacks really well.
Yeah, I mean, listen, those guys are always going to be looking for
But
backup quarterbacks.
it's not Chicago, and it's definitely not the New York Jets.
Don't go to Miami. Like, stop. What happens with I think this goes back to your point of quarterbacks not being developed. There are teams that just simply, and organizations, not even and front offices, that have no idea how to develop certain talents. The Chiefs were that way at quarterback for a very long time, and who knows, it could return that way post Patrick Mahomes. Don't know. And then there's organizations who just know how to develop certain positions, and that goes back to your point of constantly that the quarterbacks that are playing today are worse and worse every single year.
They know less about the game. They do less. They like
You've got to
like
go.
nobody's coming close to. I really don't feel like anybody's coming close to the level of preparation that Tom Brady brought to the game. Like Tom Brady is very much like our Kobe, like for football. Just like I'm gonna watch more film than you. Like I'm gonna do more homework than you. I'm gonna know everything about like you look at the way he describes how he beat the Chiefs in Tampa. Like he knew what our defense was gonna run before the call was made. Like he could see everything playing out right in front of his eyes.
I
And
still
quarterbacks
think
don't have that now. They don't.
there's obviously some that do. A majority don't. Um, but I think that just goes back to leads credence to what you're saying with what we continue to see today. And on top of that, like even go back to Brady, we are pressuring young quarterbacks to play too early. Who are the quarterbacks today that have had success when they step out on the field? Pat, who'd he sit behind? Alex Smith, Josh Allen, sat for a little bit. Lamar Jackson, sat for a little bit. Aaron Rodgers,
Well,
in
and
his old age, sat behind Brett Favre.
you look at Sam Darnold and Danny Jones, like guys that have had to take their licks starting early, and now have
Exactly.
found, after a couple more years of experience and learning the game, they found success.
That was going to be my point next was that look at these guys who are now being successful had to step back, take a backup position, learn the game a different way, and I think that's Baker Mayfield, another perfect example. Had to leave a really bad situation, go to a couple different organizations, learn from Sean McVay, hit the open market, go to Tampa, and now look at it. MVP should be MVP favorite. Jared Goff he was a starter at two places, but has thrived more in Detroit than he has elsewhere, or with the Rams. Uh, Even though they made the
Still
playoffs,
benefiting
but
from a
or the
really
Super
good
Bowl, but
coaching. Yeah, still benefiting
yes,
from a really good coaching system in on the Rams.
but that's where you're either gonna get a really good coaching system or you need to take a step back, and I think that's where we're going to see maybe the next generation of really really good quarterbacks who take that Danny Dimes or Sam Darnold route of, hey, we
Develop
need to
later
take
in
a
their career.
yes. I think we're going to start seeing a lot of quarterbacks who are successful start trending that way of developing later in their careers.
Well, you talk about some players or coaches that need to be fired. I will be getting fired from Just the Tips this week. Not a chance I get a passing grade. A little ashamed, but hey, in this season's NFL, things are hard to call. So like, don't blame me. Just do the opposite of me next time, I guess. My recap here, as sad as it may be, on my start list, I went with Michael Penix versus the 49ers. I thought without Fred Warner, Penix is going to eat him up. He did not. he did not handle he did not handle the pressure from the 49ers very well, especially in the first half. Um, he only got 11 points.
Not
Not what you
good.
want out of a starting quarterback, especially with who I told you to sit. My
Not good.
running back, I'm almost ashamed to, like, embarrassed to admit it. I told you to start Kenneth Gainwell. 6 receptions last week. I thought that was going to carry the game script. Even like went in his favor. Like the Steelers were playing from behind, and he only had 15 total yards. So I think this was like 2 or 3 points for you.
Who'd have thunk
Terrible
it?
call. Terrible call. Wide receiver Cortland Sutton. This was an okay call. He got 16 points. No touchdown. Like I want to say 90 something yards, something like that. Would have been better if he got a touchdown for sure, but okay, start him. I told you to start Cade Otton. That game is playing right now. But with two other receivers back, maybe. I mean, how was I supposed to know? Like Wednesday night, how was I supposed to know that they were? I was expecting him to be hurt, and Cade Otton was going to be a main target. Whatever. Probably
Now
going
the
to be
big
a
boo
bad
is back.
call. For the sit-ups, my quarterback, Matt Stafford, 27 points. Not a whole lot of yards, but 5 touchdowns. I don't think any interceptions. Running back, if he didn't get his touchdown, it would have been a really good sit, but Tony Pollard got you 12 points versus the Patriots. Wide receiver, another situation, again, where if he doesn't get his touchdown, it would have been a really good call. But Hollywood Brown versus the Raiders got 9 points.
That's a decent sit 'em.
Yeah. But best call of the week, maybe you can argue that Cortland Sutton was a better call, but my sit-em for Hunter Henry, or my sit-em for tight end was Hunter Henry. Third week in a row, you could have comfortably sat Hunter Henry. I did call that one. But I'm less than 50% right now. If Cade Otton gets me a good game, I think I'm right at 50%, but you can't give that a passing grade. I don't even need to
No,
hear it.
not at all. Not
Not a
passing.
good week. Not a good week.
We are not good at giving you just the tips for fantasy on Stardom and Situm, which is wild because I am in like first place in 4 leagues right now.
In my personal fantasy leagues, I have a lot of players playing tonight in 2 leagues, so we'll see. But my ESPN league, where I'm actually playing Sean this week, neither of us had great weeks, but it does not look like I'm going to win that one.
Uh-oh. You telling me Sean's going to come on this show next week with bragging rights?
I guess. Not happy
You're gonna
about
you're
it.
gonna you're gonna let me and Sean have bragging rights over
What are
you
you
this
gonna
season?
what are you gonna do? It's
Come
fantasy football,
on,
man. It's all
come
luck.
on.
It's 100% luck.
Well, a team that was
I
in
need Bill Merritt to pick it up, man. What the hell?
well, a
Comes
team
off a
that's
20 comes
incredibly.
off a 24-point week with a 6 and a 4
I
following
I
two
told
weeks.
you, I
I
told you.
told you.
What
I
are the
told
things
you.
you need to do? Not trust the Commanders. And hey, don't start them next week. You know why?
In
Because
that
they're playing.
league, I drafted Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin, and then I just happened to pick up Bill because some idiot dropped him. But
Well, you're not going to have. I mean, Terry McLaurin
I have three
probably
players
going to
from the
be out.
Commanders on this team, dude. Like
Probably going to be out for another week, and Jaden Daniels probably
I
going to miss
know,
time
I
against the
know, I know,
Chiefs as well
I
due to
know.
that hamstring injury. And that was actually our game to watch as the Commanders lose by 22 points to the Cowboys, 22-44. Um,
This was
Jaden
your
Daniels
call, by the
goes.
way. This
It
was your
was. It
game to
was my
watch,
call. I wouldn't do such a thing. I would never tell you to watch the Commanders.
but you did.
Um, I did.
You did.
But I
I
also
mean, there's a
called
lot
at the
of points
beginning of the
scored.
season. There was. It wasn't super exciting because the commies were getting ripped to shreds. But my point at the beginning of the season is coming truer and truer for all of you commies fans. You're not that good. You're not that good. You had an easy walk into the playoffs last year when you got this new fledging quarterback who actually is pretty decent, right? And maybe it's just a sophomore slump. Maybe he's not getting enough help around him on the defensive side or through the offensive
Well,
line.
their
But
defense sucks. There's no doubt
he
about
has
that.
not been that good.
They just
Um,
gave 44 points to the Cowboys, dude. Like
I mean, the
their
Cowboys have one of the
defense,
best offenses in the league. What are we talking about?
but their defense is not good.
But yeah, I agree. Their defense is not good. The Cowboys are also one of the best offensive, top three offense in the league. They're putting up points every week, and the Commanders. I mean, I tried to tell you. I tried to tell you at the beginning of the season. No one wanted to listen to me. You're not a playoff team. You made the playoffs last year in a fourth place schedule. You beat one playoff team through the regular season after they had already had the division locked up. And then you go in and you beat a devastated Tampa Bay Tampa Bay and Detroit Lions team. Absolutely devastated by injury. You eked away a couple of wins, and you got smacked up in the NFC Championship. That was it. You're not making it back to the playoffs this year. You're not that good. You're not good. You're not good. Period.
Their defense is bad.
They have no. Their defense is bad. They have no run game. I don't care that Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel are out, and you've been missing Jaden Daniels for a couple of weeks. I told you it was going to happen, and it's come true.
Well, I think their offensive line struggles against higher caliber defensive lines. That's for sure.
The Cowboys don't have a high caliber defensive line.
They
What are
have
we
a
talking about? We've been talking trash on the Cowboys defense all season, including their defensive line, who's been this season without Micah Parsons.
yeah, but the Cowboys defense has been fairly good against the run though, haven't they?
Yes, they've been fairly good against the run in comparison to
All I was
previous
saying,
years.
I was just
They're not
saying, I
that
think
good, but
their
yes,
offensive line is showing to be like below average. Like they can't handle better defensive lines.
I, I agreed.
They're not.
I don't think they can handle
But
a bad
that's a
defensive
cr-
line.
that's a credit to your point of them not being able to beat playoff teams. Like if you have any shot of going to the playoffs, you likely have a better defensive line.
Can't beat non-playoff teams this season. Bum ass commies.
Why are you so mad?
Because people were in our comments the whole time when I'm sitting here saying the commies aren't good. Well, guess what? You're not. I'm tired of it.
They still have a chance to turn their season around.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of games left for them to lose because they will continue to do so. They're bad. Don't know
You
if
got
Dan Quinn makes it through next year. He'll make it through the season just because of injuries. I don't know if Dan Quinn
good
makes
old
it through
Dan
next season.
Quinn. He's
Not
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 great.
good. And
He's not great
how much
either.
how much how much longer does old Bobby Wagner have left? That man is giving everything out on the field. The team can't give him nothing. They can't give him
he's
1%. He's
bro.
out there putting everything out. He leads the league in tackles. Putting
He's
that man
gonna
on an island against 11.
yeah. He's gonna need like oxygen after the season. He's going to exhaust himself playing on that defense. I honestly feel bad for
This season's going to put him in retirement.
him.
It's going to. He had like five
It's
more
the
seasons left
it's
in him.
the
The
equivalent.
commies are
Yeah, it's the
retiring him.
equivalent of what year was it? Christian McCaffrey's uh,
2019 season.
2019 season, and he's not coming out. He's not.
He's never coming in. He's playing special teams. You might as well put him in at quarterback. Like, what are we
All the
doing?
all the all the painkillers and numbing agents and all the adrenaline that he's got flowing in that 30 some odd year old body. Just after the season, he's going to perpetually be James Harrison. He's going to sound like Bane, just with a oxygen mask on for
You
the
thought
whole
darkness was your ally. I was born in it, molded by it.
yeah. This was also your game of the week.
Yeah, yeah.
Mine's last.
I I just wanted to keep talking shit on the commies because they're so bad.
I mean, it's enough. You beat a dead horse, and they're almost a dead horse. I mean,
Well,
Jaden Daniels hurt. When's Terry coming back? Like, it's not looking great. It's
It
really
doesn't
not.
matter. It
You're a
doesn't
dead
matter when
horse.
they're coming back.
They were a horse for a little bit, but they broke a leg and they're staring down the barrel of a shotgun.
Got to put them down.
Yeah.
Well, the Chargers are also almost a dead horse. Um, they played against the Colts, lost 38-24. Jonathan Taylor had a hat trick on the day, 3 touchdowns. He was in the end zone celebrating almost the entire game. I think Tyler Warren also had a pair of touchdowns. Michael Pittman had like a huge 40 or 50-yard touchdown. It was a bad day to be a Charger. You've got no offensive line. You've got no running backs. It's nice that they can put up the points. You still have Justin Herbert. Like no game is ever over if you've got Herbert behind center or under center, but like
He's not
it's
under
over
center
with.
that much.
He's not. That's why I said behind. But sometimes he's under. Sometimes he's you get Khalil Mack back. You hope that the defense can get a pass rush, maybe put it on Daniel Jones a little bit, but he knows how to scramble. They've really Shane Steichen has done a really good job of coaching up that offense. It doesn't help when you're going up against the league's best or second best running back, however you want to rank him. He's right. Jonathan Taylor's right there with Christian McCaffrey. So bad news bears for the Chargers. It's
I
not going to
thought you
get
said it was Bijan or Bijan. Sorry,
Bijan
nobody wants to
Mustard
say his name correctly.
correctly.
Correctly. Bijan.
Listen, top three. I did not expect Christian McCaffrey to last this long into the season. I don't know how much longer he's got left. Bijan will be back at the top, right there with Jonathan Taylor. Um, but the Chargers will not be. Your defense is done. You'll stick around in a couple more games. Won't make the playoffs. It seems like the Broncos are getting back, even though they just almost lost to the Giants. They're apparently a good team. I don't know. Don't trust the Chargers. Do trust the Colts. Daniel Jones, not a front runner, but should be up
What do you mean
top
trust
five.
trust him to make the playoffs? Like that's fine. I mean
Man,
ceiling
I
for the Colts is AFC Championship game, dude. They're not making the
that's
play. They're
that's the
not making the
thing though,
Super
is
Bowl.
like as long as they don't go up against the Chiefs in the playoffs, I think they have a shot at making the AFC Championship game at least.
Well, yeah,
Like if
that's
you're
the
not, if you
ceiling though.
don't, I,
That's the ceiling.
I don't know if that's the ceiling. They have a
That's not a
very solid defense. Listen, as long as you don't come up against the Chiefs, I think they've got a shot to at least make it a game in an AFC Championship against the Chiefs. I don't think the Bills stand a chance. I don't know who else is in the AFC that could stand a chance. You got the Bills and you got the Chiefs. Those are the two games that would make it really, really close, or make it good games. And I don't think the Bills stand a chance. Not in their current structure, not the way their defense has been playing.
We're
I,
talking
I think you
about
got two. I think you got two teams in the AFC, and it's the Chiefs and it's the Colts, and then it's the field.
really.
I, I'm not a believer in the Bills this year, man. It's not the Ravens. They're out. Like, who else are you going to put? Who else are you going to say has a chance? Who else are you going to say has a chance? Anybody from the South? No. Or outside the Colts? Like, no. The Jaguars, the Texans? No. Who else are you going to? You going to tell me it's the Patriots? No.
I mean,
You
I was having to consider them at the record. Like I'm going through who's at the top of the conference, and I'm like, well,
like they're there. Their record
Patriots.
shows but they beat the Bills. Like, what are we doing? The Colts. It's Chiefs, Colts, Field. Who else will we put? Like the AFC is good, right? The AFC as a whole is better than the NFC as a whole. Don't get me wrong. Like I still
I
believe
don't
that's
think
true.
I don't. I'm getting less and less confident in saying that. Like, 'cause if you say it's Chiefs, Colts, and then the field, like the NFC is way more competitive within conference. Like,
I don't know if I can get behind. I mean, I don't know if I can get behind. Like, yes, I think the NFC is more competitive as a whole. I don't
I
think.
said earlier this year, the AFC is very top heavy and bottom heavy. There's not a lot in the middle, but it's it's weird. It's weird when you get teams like the Broncos, like with a bad quarterback now. we we didn't think it was going to be a bad quarterback last year, but Bo Nix doesn't look great. They have. I've
Sophomore
seen
slump.
a. This is. It doesn't really matter who because it's like a random person on social media. But I've seen that draft class of quarterbacks where Spencer Rattler is ranked above Bo Nix.
No shot. I don't know. I don't know who's putting that
People think
out.
Spencer Rattler is better than Bo Nix. That's how
I don't
bad
know
he's
who's.
been this season.
I know he's been bad. I don't know who's putting that stuff out. They need to have their Twitter credentials revoked. Like shut them off from the internet, not just Twitter. Just shut their somebody who went and cut Sean's internet. Go and find these people's internet and cut them off. They don't deserve to have it.
I think Spencer Rattler would be better on the this season. I think Spencer Rattler would be better for the Broncos than Bo Nix. Yeah, I said
I
it.
don't know if I get. I don't know if I get. I don't know. I thought about agreeing, and I'm like, man, Spencer's bad. I also saw him in college. Like, he's just not good.
Um, Speaking of not good, my game of the week. You could
Real
kind of
bad.
call it. You could kind of call it a defensive battle, but like when you really watched the game, like it wasn't a great football game. I chose the Sunday night game, Falcons Niners. Niners win 20-10. Um, like I said earlier, Michael Penix could not handle pressure that was being dialed up by the 49ers. Who's that? Bob Sala over there? That's Bob Sala dialing up
Ahab
these
Saleh.
these blitzes. Penix didn't really know what to do with it. Um, London, Bijan, they got their stats in fantasy wise, but like not a great showing out of the Falcons offense. The Falcons defense tried to keep him in the game as long as possible. It was really 13-10 for a while. Um, that last touchdown coming in the fourth quarter. But yeah, the Falcons offense just couldn't get anything going. And this on the other side of offense, it was a vintage Carolina Panthers Christian McCaffrey game. Like he did everything and had well over 130 all-purpose yards. I think there was like 120 of just rushing. So like he probably was pushing 200 all-purpose yards because he was heavily involved in the pass game. I mean, he was their entire offense pretty much. And he,
Workhorse.
but the big difference was you could see him actually come out of the game. You could see him point to the sideline and be like, okay,
I need
I
a
could
break.
use a break.
Let me catch my air.
He was not doing
Uh,
that in Carolina.
it is amazing what we've always known that Bob Sala was a really good defensive coordinator, even when he was the head coach of the Jets and what he was able to do with the players that clearly don't know how to play anymore now that he's gone. What he is doing without Fred Warner, Greg Greenlaw is
I
no
mean,
longer
yeah,
with the Niners.
masking the loss of Fred Warner in that game was like a thing of art. Like
Talanoa Hufunga
yeah.
jumped ship once last season was over. He did that with primarily and no Nick Bosa. He's doing that primarily with a bunch of rookies out on the field, and he's still getting that defense to play just as effectively. Not even just like big boom plays, every once in a while. He's getting them to play effectively and efficiently every single down. Um, Against the Falcons offense, who just boat raced the Bills the week prior, or 2 weeks prior because they had the bye week. So coming in off of a bye week, even the Falcons were able to game plan a little bit more and still did effectively nothing. Um, uh, Niners aren't necessarily a team to watch out for, I don't think, especially when they're going to go up against
I'm
good and
annoyed with how
experienced
good their
teams.
record
But
is for sure, dude. I'm super annoyed with
that's
it.
that's what I'm saying. Like they're going to go up against good teams and they're going to get put in their place unless it's in their division. Obviously, them beating the Rams, but like it is annoying to see how good their record is when we know that they're just not a good team.
Bang bang Niner gang, cuz I don't know
Stop.
if I
Don't do that
can't
again.
sit here and say that they're not a good team, but like again, I there's so many of these teams that I just feel like are kind of like if you Brock Purdy shouldn't be making the amount of money that he's freaking making, but like
Clearly, look at what Mac
there's
Jones is doing.
I don't. They look the same, dude. They like
That's what I'm saying.
brother, like
That's what I'm saying.
but they, like
Look at what Mac is
you
doing.
put that caliber of quarterback up in the playoffs, and it's just like I think you're a joke, and it's because we are spoiled with Patrick Mahomes. But
Well, Pat
I
Mahomes, Josh Allen, what we've seen from Lamar Jackson, even though he can't win the big ones, like he's performed. Matthew Stafford, like we're spoiled across the board with some of the upper echelon talent.
I just we can clearly differentiate better than the average NFL fan
You know who
just on
can't
talented
differentiate?
quarterbacks.
You know who can't differentiate? PFF, because PFF states that Geno Smith was a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes after losing 31 to nothing. I don't know if you saw the rankings
Is
that
that
came out.
real?
I'm not joking you. Patrick Mahomes had a worse ranking than Geno Smith.
Then they're just doing it because of all the noise it's getting. It's like a media bait, like attention getter type thing.
What it
There's
has
no
to do with
chance.
the PFF has to do with all these metrics that they calculate. I don't think there's any human input, but I think they've rigged the algorithm some way, shape, or form. We've been talking about it for years how bad PFF rankings are. They're analytics. They're actual just like flat metrics that you can go in and grab whether you pay for the system or not. Like they're actual analytics that you can grab are really good. The rankings that they've had and do have are atrocious.
You're lying to yourself if you don't think that they have ways to like manually
Sure.
manipulate it.
I,
It's
I'm sure they do. Do you think Chris Collinsworth, who loves Patrick Mahomes, is going in there and be like, "It's worse than Geno. Bump around these numbers." Maybe they're doing it for talking points to stay relevant, but that's not going to do very good in the throughout the next couple of years if they keep putting out trash like this.
they're getting pressure from Chris Long, bro. Chris Long's tired of the rankings, dude.
They do need to make some adjustments. JJ Watt talked about it on the Pat McAfee show how they made adjustments because he was consistently ranking as the number one defensive end slash defensive lineman for multiple years in a row, and so they even contacted him and they were like, "Hey, we're adjusting based on you," and it doesn't take into consideration a lot of the actual play things on who you're supposed to be covering, what's your assignment, things like that. And most analytics don't, but I just I don't think PFF lasts for long if they're going to keep putting out these poor
It
rankings.
lasts for long, dude. Like they're fully ingrained in NFL culture. Like,
I know, and it's really bad. It's really bad, especially when you're putting it on the broadcast and you're like, "Hey, Patrick Mahomes is the 13th ranked
but
PFF quarterback."
I fully believe there's no other way that you can that you could rank Geno Smith as being better than Patrick Mahomes.
No shot. Especially not after they only ran 30 offensive plays or less 27 offensive plays.
Yeah.
The Chiefs had 30 first downs.
Everybody wants to use the phrase belt to ass. Like that was the literal definition of belt to ass when it comes to a football game. Like we whooped the shit out of the Las Vegas Raiders.
And I called it. I called it. There was going to be no interceptions. What happened? No interceptions. The only turnover that happened in this game came from a fumbled snap that the Chiefs were able to recover. Geno Smith did have a fumble. He recovered it himself. And then there was the fumbled snap by the backup quarterback, whoever the hell that was. And that was it. There was no other turnovers in the game. It was just, hey, you're getting stopped in 3 downs, and then you're going to punt, and that's it. They had 27 offensive snaps.
Yeah, they didn't have very many opportunities to throw us the
Not like
ball.
you
So
saw it. You were over a trash can the entire
don't
time.
you didn't have to bring that up. It was a it was a
We
rough
also
it was a
didn't
rough rough day for me. I don't think I drank too much in excess. I didn't eat very much. And
That'll do it.
yeah.
We also don't have to bring up that Tommy went to the game, former member of the show, went to the game with his parents who flew in from California, and they're all the Raiders fans. Rough day for them, but we will bring
Boo.
that up.
Yeah, I don't know. Would you rather go watch your team lose, or would you rather like be throwing up from too much alcohol?
I'd rather watch my team lose.
Oh, okay.
I don't like to throw up.
I did multiple times.
Rashee Rice was throwing up something because he had heavy utilization in the game. He had 7 receptions, 2 touchdowns. Didn't really go crazy in the stat sheet outside of that. He only had 42 total yards, but those 7 receptions and 12 points of tuds will go a long way for fantasy his first week back. They talked about
I
pregame that he was going to get some heavy utilization, and he sure did.
well, I honestly thought they would have thrown to him more, but they did kind of, in the essence of what I was saying before the game, they did make it a point to like showcase that he's back. Like they had goal line plays ready for him to go.
Oh, absolutely. I wasn't a huge fan of like all the shovel passes and the slants that he ran. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of the route tree, maybe some deeper passes. Not like they had to be deep passes, like 20 plus yards, but I would have liked to have seen, some 10 yards or whatever. But it was
But
good to get
honestly,
him
that's
back
I
and the
do I do
utilization
feel like that's where Rashee Rice is going to thrive, or
inside
and also
10. Yeah.
has thrived in this offense. We have solidified the guy that can take the top off the defense. Like we don't need Rashee Rice running very many deep routes, and he's always been a guy that you get the ball to quickly and go get us at least 7 yards. Like he's a great first down play in this offense. Just like a quick slant, a bubble screen, a one-on-one route where the defense is given a lot of cushion. Like you get him the ball quickly and let him make a play. It's the old or older I guess notion before we integrated too much like RPO stuff, like the what commentators would say is the extension of the run game, the quick throws that get a receiver in space and and on like a one-on-one matchup. Like it's those types of plays where Rashee Rice is going to continue to make a living in this offense.
I think we've got a good mesh of where our receivers will play at or what our system will work best in. You got Rashee Rice between that like 3 and 7 yard routes is where he's going to work the best. You got Xavier Worthy, that's probably that 5 to 12 mark. And then you've got Tyquan Thornton, who can really be that 15 plus guy. And then obviously Travis Kelce, just find a hole, sit in it, and wait for the ball to come to you.
You're not. I mean, Xavier Worthy is also like the deep guy. Like Tyquan Thornton's a
Can't
nice like little
yes,
sprinkle in the offense, but he's really not. He's kind of an afterthought now.
yeah. Xavier Worthy
Like
can take the
he's our deep threat, bro. Like
he can take the top off, but he also really thrives in that like 10 to 15 range as well. To be consistent in there and then take the top off every once in a while.
sure, I guess I don't know if I'm in agreement with you,
We're gonna
but
miss some heavy hitters in the weeks to come. Not some things that I was wanting to get out of this Raiders game. I mean, obviously we've got Josh Simmons, who's not expected to be back anytime soon. They did ask Andy Reid in his press conference today, being Monday, what was going on with that situation. He just said we're not going to talk about it. That's Veach is handling it, and that's about it. We know something's going on. We don't know many details, and that's kind of where it ends. But he's out, and thank goodness we've got Jalen Moore who's able to step in. though the guy we were really hoping he would step in for being Juwan Taylor is now potentially out for some time. He's got the injury to, I believe it's his right shoulder. Went out early in the game. Hopefully he can come back because we can't really be missing that many offensive linemen now. Hopefully it's not extended period, but we don't know much more than that. We also saw Trey Smith leave early in the game with a back injury. Left very, very early. Mike
which
Caliendo,
is way more concerning in my
yeah,
opinion.
I don't know if it's actually more concerning. Mike Caliendo's been able to step in and play very well. He played very well against the Raiders. He's played very well last season. Not that I want him out for an extended period of time, Trey Smith, but I think we have more coverage there than if we're missing both Duan Taylor and Josh Simmons at the
Who
tackle
does fill in
positions.
for Juwan?
I believe that is going to be Eric Driscoll, former member
Who?
of the practice squad. We did see him in preseason last year. He was really good. We saw him in preseason this year. Uh, really happy with what he's been able to do in the preseason, but obviously that's preseason. That's not necessarily against the ones, and so I think Eric Driscoll is going to be the guy who comes in and fills in for Jawan Taylor if he's going to miss any time.
So we don't know if he's going to miss any time at this point.
Not been reported on yet. All we know is that he left the game early, but there's not been any early indications on what the injury status is. I'm sure we'll learn more on Tuesday. And then we did learn a very short-staffed defensive line. It's even more short-staffed, especially on the interior side. Third round draft pick out of Tennessee, Omar Norman Lott, who was getting more snaps and was stated to really be a prominent figure on this defensive line as we move forward from Steve Spagnuolo, defensive coordinator of the Chiefs, is unfortunately going to be out for the remainder of the season for his ACL on an incredibly dirty play. I don't know if you saw it at the stadium, Tybo. He is
No, I
he,
didn't. No, I was napping in the car.
oh, this guy. He one of those plays, and you get knocked to the ground. All right, play's going to be over. And one of the guards, I believe it was the left guard for the Las Vegas Raiders, decided to do one of those wrestling moves and try to jump off the top rope. Well, he did it and belly flopped right onto Omar Norman Lott, I believe, as he was trying to get up, smushed him to the ground, torn ACL out for the year.
Yeah, man, kind of like my senior year homecoming game. You obviously pick like a shitty team to go against so you can win by a lot. Well, we were winning by damn near 60 points, and somebody from the other team, I can remember hearing him shout, "Man, I don't give a damn," and like pushing somebody from behind, like clearly a penalty that he got flagged for and whatever. But when you're down by this much, you're just like, man, I'm gonna just do whatever because I've given up on this game. Um, you think he gets you think he gets a fine? You think he gets any
There
disciplinary
will
action?
be 100% he will get a fine. It was an unsportsmanlike penalty. Will be reviewed. Tuesdays are the days when they hand out the fines. He's 100% going to get a fine. I would not be surprised if he gets a minimum 1 game suspension. Um, some things like that are uncalled for in the game. Um, it's after the play, a guy's on the ground. That is not as bad as like creating an entire scrum where the whole teams get involved, a la
Quick
Brian
horrendous, bro.
Branch. Um, okay, rugby guy. Um, but that's it's really close. Like the play is over. You don't just stand in your spot, dump as high as you can, and then belly flop onto a guy's back. Like that doesn't you can kind of dive at them from a side to as they're trying to get up. If the play is still going, try and keep them there, whatever. Like that is all fair game. If a guy is laying on his belly and the play is over, you don't just jump up and belly flop onto him. That guy, if he doesn't get suspended, I would be incredibly
There
surprised.
was a pretty big news story about a high school incident, like
Yes.
a much larger lineman belly flopped on a kid and like broke his back.
Yes. And that guy went to the hospital, had to have surgery. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly the same thing that happened. If I would again, I'd be incredibly surprised if there's not suspension coming down for that offensive lineman for the Raiders.
Omar Norman Lott was a promising piece, especially this season. Like, like people can come back from ACL tears nowadays, modern medicine, sure, but that's an unfortunate piece to be losing this season.
Yeah, and it was stated before the game. Diana Rossini, I believe of the Athletic, reported it before prior to kickoff that the Chiefs that there were multiple teams in for multiple different positions before the trade deadline. There's been a lot of rumors about the Chiefs being in for a running back. She disputed that and stating that the Chiefs were not looking for a running back, but in fact we were actually looking for defensive line help. Um, and that was pregame. And now, be stating
Yeah.
aligning with that the defensive line was already thin. Now it gets even thinner. I expect a couple of moves, honestly, to get made. Um, there's obviously been rumors about the Chiefs maybe going after Quentin Williams, things like that. Even if that not realistic, even if that was something that was potentially in the works, it's now gone. We have to go after multiple individuals to fill that gap of what we were missing, at least in depth. So expect probably a couple different moves to get made for the Kansas City Chiefs at the defensive line position. Probably not any high big names that we were thinking about, especially with where we are in the cap space. So look at some potential depth pieces. It also makes the decision from Brett Veach and the entire organization to let Tershawn Wharton walk even worse of a decision. We were already talking about how bad that was, and then making a trade for Derek Nottie, and then how bad he's been. But that decision is now expounded on even worse. Just bad moves overall.
Yeah. Never get your hopes up or get your hopes too high for like a super impactful trade to be made out of the Chiefs organization mid regular season. Um, there's always a lot of rumors and just like talk that builds a lot of hype around a possible move that the Chiefs could make. They could go after this guy. My hopes like I'm always let down when we make certain moves like that. Like I don't know. It's it doesn't really turn out the best for us. Or it just as
No,
effective as we would like it to be.
there's one
We'll get some pieces to fill in the rotation, but
have to
I don't
absolutely have to.
expect it to be like super high caliber. Like I don't know.
No, I agree. The draft picks are really important, especially in a dynasty type where you're trying to make extend that window as long as possible. The best way to do that is on rookie contracts. So don't expect, movement around that to bring in a guy who's going to take up a lot of cap space that already really isn't there. Um, one move that I could see happening internally. So we've been seeing a lot more of um, Charles Omenihu playing on the interior side. That's something that's been happening quite a bit more. We've
Well,
seen
yeah,
him
and
be
if
able to
and
play
until we
that
get a new
in the
piece, that's
Niners
going to have to
situation.
happen.
Well, what I'm thinking, something that we've seen a little bit is Leo Chanel playing on, hand in the dirt, playing on that edge. I'm wondering if that isn't a move that gets made until we bring in some additional pieces. Is Charles Omenihu
Whatever
moved
Leo's
inside and
snap count is at right now for the team, it needs to be higher because he can do everything.
can?
He can cover, like he's gotten a way better in his coverage game. He's one of the surest tacklers on the team, and like he just has this motor that even a guy like George Karlaftis, who we say like has a great motor and like continues to play well well into the play, and he doesn't kind of like loaf around sometimes like we see Chris Jones do. No shade really to Chris Jones, just trying to give an example. But like Leo's motor is there, but it's like also just like a more intense type of play. Like Karlaftis is good at what he does. Obviously has a great bull rush. Obviously can track the quarterback fairly well after the play breaks down. But Leo is just a way more intense, harder hitting type of player, and he can do almost anything that you ask him to out on the field. So whatever his snap count, snap percentage is right now, it needs to go up. And I understand that we have a good
Absolutely.
linebacking core, but maybe that takes some snaps away from like a guy like Chamari Connor. That probably takes some more snaps away from Drew Tranquil, but Leo needs to be playing more.
I'm glad you brought that up because I don't think it does. What we've seen over the last couple of weeks is Chamari Connor has been playing quite a bit better. And the reason for that is his snap count at
Well,
the
yeah, if
safety
Leo puts
position.
his hand in the dirt, it's going to be taking D line play away. But yeah,
Yes, or to an extent, right? Because there's Mike Dana there. It's getting thin. Move Charles Omenihu on the inside. I think this just plays more credence into we're going to play a little bit more nickel than we have this season, which is one of our staples. It's one of Steve Spagnuolo's staples in on defensive formations is playing the nickel. We've seen Amari Connor play more safety snaps over the last couple of weeks than in the previous. We've seen Noel Williams play more on the outside and actually get snaps than we've seen in the first handful of games. So what does this mean? Well, we're just going to play nickels. So you've got Brian Cook. Amari Connor is going to play the safety. We're only going to have two linebackers. It's going to be Drew Tranquil and it's going to be Nick Bolton. You're going to move Leo down to the edge and you can mix in some crazy things in there, right? Because Leo can either come down on the rush, he can back out into coverage, and then guess what? We're going to get to see a little bit more of Jaden Hicks, who's got that size of a linebacker and the speed of a safety, and he can play really well in coverage. I think we're going to go more towards that nickel side, play with two linebackers, have that hybrid in Jaden Hicks, and really be able to put our players in the positions to succeed more often than not. That means like I said, Chamari Connor back at the safety position, be able to play Noel Williams and Jalen Watson out on the outside. Put Trent McDuffie in on the slot, and guys are going to be in position to do so. We'll just need a little bit of depth to really move those players out. I don't think it happens that way, but I really would like to see Leo hand in the dirt quite a bit more.
it'd be fun. It would be really fun for us as fans.
With that said, taking a look at how we're doing against the spread, if you are not tailing me, by the way, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing.
Hang on.
Oh yeah.
I would like to give just a little spiel monologue here about the Chiefs offense.
Okay.
I understand that who we just put 31 points on and completely obliterated was the Raiders. I understand that they're not a great team, but uh, I guess it was coward after the um, Jaguars loss. It was like, look out. The Chiefs are running 7.4 yards per play or whatever the EPA system thing is. And, teams that hit that mark usually don't lose. Um, with Rashee Rice back, I I'm not one of these fans out here saying that like he's the savior to our offense. I don't think like he's in a certain class of wide receiver that like I would say kind of like good to great, but he's not pushing the level that Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase are at. Amon-Ra St. Brown, like he's not pushing that level of wide receiver. And I don't think any of our big three wide receivers are really like that good individually. Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, and Rashee Rice. But together, adding in Travis Kelce and guys like Juju Smith-Schuster and Tyquan Thornton, just like this is this is a dangerous bunch. And you have two like mid to serviceable running backs that are going to get you 3 to 4 yards a carry. Like defenses are about to get obliterated. The second half of the regular season, we are we're already consistently scoring 20 to 30 points, but like it's about to get bad. We're about to make certain defenses look like high school teams.
The commies coming up, man. If you thought I killed him in the middle towards the beginning of this show, the Chiefs are going to kill him this upcoming week.
The the perfect mesh of receivers that we have working with Pat Mahomes, like I said, none of them individually are that good, but the Hollywood Brown is kind of like the middle, the perfect in between of the skill sets of Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy, but they're all fast, right? The speed on this offense is killer. I don't think it is as dangerous or effective as when we had Tyreek Hill, but I also think Pat was probably playing with a little bit more reckless abandon and playing like a little more free and not as much in his head as he is later on in his career. Um, but this is a dangerous bunch that Baker's probably firmly cemented on the top of the MVP race. But if you look at the numbers come the second half of the season, Pat's going to be right up there, and it's going to be hard not to consider him.
Absolutely. I'm excited for hey, we got through like the first quarter, a little bit more of the season. Got Rashee Rice back. The team is meshing well. It's only one game, but man, it's going to be a fun second half of the season.
Try not to overreact because it was the Raiders, but like by no means is Rashee Rice that great of a player, but you add another good receiver to this offense, and the possibilities are damn near endless. The amount of things that this offense can do should absolutely frighten every other defense in the league.
And I think it will. Looking at our schedule coming up, obviously we've got the commies and then the Bills, and then we have a bye week. And then we still have some really good teams that we have to play against. We still get the Broncos twice. We still have to play against the Chargers. We'll get the Raiders again. But we get the Bills right after the commies, right before a bye. That's a team who let the Ravens score 40. And then they were able to come back, but they haven't really faced a good defense. They've had a couple what I would consider bad losses. And we're still going to get the Cowboys. The Texans have a fantastic defense. The Colts we still have to come up against as well at home. The league is getting put on notice from the Raiders game, and if you think that hey, it's just the Raiders, it's not going to be just
We
the
took it
Raiders.
easy on them.
Really did. We pulled all the starters out in the beginning of the fourth quarter, like it was over. It's not gonna get easier for the league. You killed us too early.
You thought you did.
You thought you did.
And I like long term, we're really going to be kicking ourselves for the Jaguars loss when it comes to the playoff race. Like, there's no way in hell we should have lost that game, and our offense was still clicking in that game. So it's really gonna frustrate us as we look back on the season because like that loss could possibly be the difference between a better seed going into the playoffs. But we handle business from here on out. We hang 40 on everybody that we have to play.
I
Like, we'll be fine.
think so. I mean, hey, the possibilities are endless.
Number one seed incoming.
I'm not going to
The
doubt
Bills, the Bills keep losing to the Patriots. Like, we'll be all right.
it.
They got to see them one more time this season.
They do. Well, like I said just a little bit ago, if you're not tailing me specifically, Tybo's not doing too bad. He's 500 against the spread. I just got
Had
told
one good week.
you've had a couple good weeks, but you're 500. You're 53 and 53 with 2 games left to go here in week 7. Definitely do not be listening to Sean. He is 46 and 60, but I'm 58 and 48 with 2 games remaining here in week 7. I got told earlier this week that America is when they do their picks on the major broadcast is picking like really poorly against the spread. I think against the spread, a lot of sports books are making some money. So if you're not tailing me, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Another good week, especially coming in for Tybo and I, is we're right now above 500 with 2 games left to go. Like I said, Bucks, Lions, we're on the opposite sides of that, Tybo and I. And then Seahawks, Texans coming up in a couple of hours.
It's 7-0 for the Lions right now.
It is 7-0. 5.5 is the line that we took there. Texans, Hawks in Seattle. 3 is the line there. We'll see if we can come out on the good end of that. But John is definitely going to be taking last place regardless, uh, which is always good to see.
Sean sucks. He really, really sucks.
And he's not here to defend himself, which makes it even better because he doesn't
But he
say
still
anything
sucks.
anyways. He doesn't say anything when he gets on the mic anyways. So he'll be back next week working a late shift as we put in a late shift for you guys. Make sure to join us. We'll be recording Wednesday, putting it out on Thursday as we look forward to week 8 as week 7 here comes to an end. So make sure to join us then. Until next time, go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs! Maybe I'll watch the game next week.